You are listening to Ask the Answers podcast. Join me, Adele Cobain, as I uncover the knowledge, inspiration, and empowerment the psychic world has to offer. Let's begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Answers podcast with myself, Adele Cobain. And on today's show, I'm extremely excited to welcome this guy that's been described by Piers Morgan as the best in the galaxy. Let's welcome Justin Topa. Hello.
Hi, Adele. Hi, Adele. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm far away as well. Yeah, I'm in Turkey.
Are you in the galaxy?
Well, I'm not. Yeah, far away in the galaxy. I'm also in Turkey at the moment.
Oh, it's all right for some.
It's a really good country, and I could say my golden rule is be spiritually where you're meant to be. So at the moment, I'm meant to be here.
So you tying that in with work, or is this a holiday for you? Is this some downtime?
No holiday. Although I relax here, and it's just it's a very good place to be. And of course, the work I do and the work you can do it anywhere, which is what I do.
Definitely, absolutely. Well, we do appreciate you taking the time from your
My
holiday
pleasure.
to come and have a chat with us today. So I mentioned there at the start there that you've been described by Piers Morgan, who is very to the point and tells it how it is kind of man.
Yeah.
You are the best in the galaxy. I mean, how do you live up to that?
That's a good question. You know the sort of personality Piers Morgan is. He's not kind of like low profile that. And it was just a particular time when I was at the Sun newspaper, and he left to go to the Mirror, and he poached me to the Daily Mirror, and so I guess he wanted to pick me up. And of course, am I the best in the galaxy? I don't necessarily think so. And so I was very grateful that he said that. Yeah.
How do you feel that you've earned that title?
At the time, well, I've been doing it a very long while. I don't actually even want to tot up the years because it's worrying. But I was doing it, So I joined the Sun, 1987, which is years ago. And before that, I used to write for weekly local papers and things. And by some miracle, the Sun editor called me up out of the blue, and I thought he was joking. My mum said, "By the way, Kelvin McKenzie's on the phone." I said, I used to get all this because when you start doing astrology, and I wasn't in that field, people take the mickey, and I don't know whether I'm digressing here, but I went to the Faculty of Astrological Studies in London.
Oh, nice.
I learned it, but I think so I had a mentor, and he was an absolutely amazing guy called Patrick Walker. And at one point, Patrick, he's an incredible guy. He had like 1 billion readers. He was syndicated everywhere. And I met him, I think, completely by chance. And he used to say, and he's right, astrologers, or whether it's psychics, astrologers are born, not made. In other words, I think you've got some sort of gift and leaning. But sometimes we stumble through life. We don't really know what, and this is hopefully going to help you. We don't really know what we're going to do. And, I'm a Libra for what it's worth. So all the Libras, Libra guys, they want to be famous. Was I going to be a drummer? I like playing drums, or an actor. And the strange thing is that I can see over the years, I kept getting these sort of things. I was pictured in front of a hotel called the Star Hotel. But being dumb and stupid, I thought, well, that doesn't mean anything. Maybe I'm going to be an actor. So I think it's kind of meant to be. And I had this particular gift, and I developed it, and I worked hard at it, and doors open miraculously. And I do say miraculously. So I think, for people listening to this, it's, what is meant to be, what is destined to be, can't be stopped. And even when, we don't know what to do, kind of, whether it's you trust the universe or God, we somehow get to the place where we're meant to be.
So with yourself, you said, doors started opening, obviously, after learning your trade. Do you feel that you had that natural ability anyway? You mentioned you feel that people were born with it. So
yeah, I do.
Something that you had to work on, or it was just naturally there?
I worked really, really hard. And people used to say, oh, you're so lucky, living in Spain or wherever it was. It's writing a few stars. But for me, I could write a column in 60 seconds. You're a Cancerian, Adele. Okay, so yesterday, Sun in Capricorn, I could write it in 10 seconds, but I actually took an enormous amount of time. I would throw away all these pieces of yellow paper on the floor until my auntie said, this is what I was saying, actually. So I did work very hard. My auntie said to me, it was I think this is a Cancerian like you. She said, "Oh, Justin, I went to see a psychic." Oh yeah, auntie. Yeah, she goes, and I never wore my. You're very clever, you Cancerian. So I never wore my wedding ring. And during the reading, this psychic, the amazing psychic, said to me, "Who is this Justin?" And it's my nephew. Well, this Justin gets all his information from above, and from that moment on, I stopped writing on yellow bits of paper, and I tuned in to whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, whatever, and. This is, and I don't know what I'm digressing here, actually, Adele. So,
No,
but
you're
so I think
fine.
it was meant to be. That's what I think.
Was your auntie spiritual?
She was actually a businesswoman. They're very clever. You can say very ambitious, but she was a businesswoman. But like a lot of business people, they do like secretly believe in this sort of stuff.
Mm.
But she wouldn't wear a wedding ring just in case the psychic, thought she was married, and
yeah. Which of course,
so
lots of people do that when they go to see psychics. They don't want you to read them, and they try to get rid of any sort of clues so you can try and not pick up anything from what you're seeing. And that's what's good about first readings, is that you don't actually see that person.
No, exactly. And I prefer people to be more specific. So, I guess you can get some clients and saying, what are you picking up about this guy? And there's a lot of gifted psychics, and I think I got a gift, and so I personally prefer people to say, the name's earlier. The name's Derek, and he's that's the 25th of June, and I think that helps. But everyone's different.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's like if you had a broken down car, if you knew what was wrong with it and you said to it, I think this is what's wrong with it, then go straight to the problem rather than trying to have it figure it all out and go around the houses. They get straight to the point and the job gets done a lot quicker.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, agree. Yeah.
So did you used to write horoscopes for newspapers? Because I know back in the day that was really popular. We don't tend to get as many newspapers now.
Actually, it was. And I like doing readings, but the thing I really, really love is writing horoscopes. And so I wrote for the Sun newspaper for 12 years, the daily, every Sun newspaper, Daily Mirror, Sunday People, Daily Express, so all of them.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to do what you love doing. And I personally love writing horoscopes. I like doing readings as well. I think this is for everyone. That the universe or God puts a dream in our hearts, never goes away. Now, normally we don't have the funds, the contact, the impossible dream. But I think, you should do what you love. And, when I started this astrology, people say, oh, you're never going to make it. We always get that. Whatever we do, we're always going to get, oh, you just dreaming, all pie in the sky. But I believed it. And I was lucky enough that it happened. I'm very grateful. Yeah.
Now, I'm sure over the years, you've done thousands and thousands of readings, but is there any sort of readings that do stand out to you where you've even surprised yourself?
Not really.
Yeah.
And I like, I actually care when I do these readings. I care. I really want to actually, I really want to help the person. And so, and I believe the fact that I do astrology and I'm a psychic actually helps. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, sorry about this, sir. The fact is that I actually give specific dates, and I'm reasonably accurate because, if a client says or comes on the phone and says, I want to get back with my boyfriend, and someone tells them, and I'm saying this with respect, oh yeah, you will in the next 3 months. Well, I'd rather say, you will on February the 28th. And because it's February the 28th, there's this particular new moon in Pisces that's happening. And, I don't like giving long, I also don't want to tell people that next year you're going to be happy. I want to tell them that, and I want to get to the root of the problem as well. So, I don't want to see people suffer. And, but of course, things do take their time, but I give dates. I tend not to give, long range things. I do, I can say, we're now in January, come June. Did you know, Adele, that in June the 10th, I think, Jupiter moves into Cancer for the first time in 12 years, which is a pretty big deal. Now, Jupiter's the planet of expansion, opportunity,
Ooh.
optimism, and good fortune. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to move into Cancer. And it's worth you knowing this because the moon moves every couple of days, Mercury every 30 days, but take 12 years for Jupiter to move into Cancer. And I would say for you and a lot of the Cancerians, in fact, for everyone, whatever placement Jupiter is in your horoscope, this is like, a pretty big deal. So I can see your life changing, and it's a planet of expansion.
How long
Usually
is that staying
involves,
for? How long is that energy staying?
now this is the good news, for
How
12
long have I
months. So,
got?
yeah, 12 months. So
12
it's
months,
their
nice.
first time in 12 years for 12 months. And of course, now Jupiter often promises, but it doesn't deliver. Ruler Sagittarius, the Sagittarians, a little exaggeration. But I watch, I'm very fascinated. So every time something happens in politics or show business, I know most people's birthdays. I've got some sort of photographic memory.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I got this photographic memory, I got Mercury closely ascendant, which is a bit of a curse and a blessing. Mercury closely ascendant means I'm chatty, a lot of chatting like a rabbit. But
Mm-hmm.
also, so I'm very, if I see even Helen Flanagan, Leo, she's just done for driving, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I'm very keen to know their birthday. And so over the years, so I want to know. So what does Jupiter in Cancer mean? What Jupiter's now in Gemini? So how's it changing all the Gemini? So I try and piece this all together and get a very accurate picture of what might be happening in someone's life. And I'm fairly accurate, I think, yeah.
Wow, I like that. What I also like is that how you can not only have that reading for yourself, which you picked up their expansion, from Cancerians, but then how that
Yeah,
ties with maybe your partner or your children. Like, is my
exactly.
husband going to go through
Yeah,
the
of
same,
course.
or is he
Of
going to be
course. So,
struggling a little bit at that time?
exactly. So if I'm talking to a Capricorn and they say, oh, I haven't met anyone in 10 years, I said, do not worry, because come June, Jupiter moves into your opposite sign, and there's this big relationship coming for you Capricorns, for example. But as I said, I care for people, so I don't actually want them to wait like 6 months. And if you're a Capricorn, I think something's going to happen fairly soon next month. So I like to dispense hope. Hope to me is
I'm
oxygen.
intrigued now, Justin. You got me thinking. What about Scorpios? My husband's a Scorpio. He's been working
Oh
so
dear,
hard.
really?
Oh no, you said oh
No,
dear.
that's good. No, I personally like the Scorpios. And but whenever people mention a Scorpio, people go, oh my God, that sting in the tail. Now, I have a moon in Scorpio. I'm a Libra.
Me
I
too.
mean, I get on fine with the Scorpios. And I would say for your husband, at the moment, well, there's a lot of things happening actually, and I don't know what he does, and Sun's moving into Aquarius on Sunday, and for you, Adele, joint financial stuff, and for your Scorpio, it's home, family, property. Are you
Mm-hmm.
thinking of moving? Anything happening with property? Having
Expansion.
you
Yeah,
know,
about the property.
what about the property? Sorry.
We want to do things up to it. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
yeah,
you will,
yeah.
and it's a really good time for
Good.
that. Did you want to ask me something about your partner? Is he going to stay with you? Yes, he is. Um,
You better
I
do. We're
like you.
married. We've got two children together.
No, I like you, Cancerians. In fact, yeah, you're
No,
great.
I'm very,
It's a good,
we've got a
it's a
good
good
relationship.
match.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's a good match, and I think it's going to be a very good. Last year was very dreadful for a lot of people, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of reasons for this. And in fact, sometimes we don't even know the reasons why. And one of the things is there's such a thing called the spirit of delay. Have you ever heard of the spirit of delay?
Haven't no.
There's a spirit of delay, and it can delay stuff. Things that should have happened last year delayed, and people thinking, why is every deal I'm trying to do sabotage? Why, I was meant to meet this guy and I met him, but it didn't work out. One of the things is the spirit of delay, and we can remove. So for people doing readings, we can remove the spirit of delay, and also what should have happened last year. So I think this year is a whole different thing, and I'm optimistic that for a lot of people, their dreams are going to come true and things are going to start happening for them, which is a great thing. And astrologically, it's definitely not as difficult this year.
That's good.
And I like to dispense hope. Hope is oxygen, and we need hope. So a lot of my readings are about, not I don't like to kid people, but I have known readers, astrologers saying, I'm actually not going to mention my friend just in case he's listening, but he's not on Ask the Answer anyway. But I have a friend who charged, I don't know whether this is worth saying actually, but I have a friend who, I think it is because it's amusing. I have a friend who charged hundreds of pounds for readings. And he can have, actually, I don't think I should say this, but anyway, he can have a client who's sobbing uncontrolled. I really miss will I ever get back with my ex? And she's paying hundreds of pounds and saying, and he'll say, absolutely not, never going to happen. Now, I don't.
Yeah.
He's really quite a good reader. He's not on Ask the Answer, by the way, or does anything like that. And I think you can't be that black and white about stuff, because you may be in a horrible breakup, you may be in a bad situation, but things, we don't go through these seasons forever.
Yeah.
We can, but we don't. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, that's what's great about a reading. It's tailor-made to that individual. So some people might need it black and white because everyone else has been, tiptoeing around them, and they need someone to tell it how it is. Other people might need that more, softer side, and they're, a little bit delicate, and they need that more comforting reading. So it's tuning in their needs.
No, you're right, but I don't like to kid people along. But by the same token, these dreadful situations, some people are unwell, financial difficult, relationship difficult. But I said these seasons don't last forever, and you will come out of it, and you can come out of it, and there's always great hope. So there is.
There's always things are always changing, isn't it?
So
always no. So
definitely.
I heard. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the astrologer here. But are we in the year of Aquarius now, or did I hear that wrong?
I think technically we're in the year of Pisces, but we were in Aquarius. I think it just moved into Pisces. But I don't really hold great store in the age, because these ages, I think the age of Aquarius is like 100 years or so. Beyond our lifetime. So I don't really hold great store in all that.
So you just go for more the individual's dates of birth and what they need to know, rather than what's going on.
Exactly. I want to get to the root of the problem. Why? I don't want I don't like people suffering generally, and we want to get to the root of the problem, because I think everything we experience is really a spiritual issue. Financial problems, it's a spiritual issue. Relational problems, is usually a spiritual issue. I would say, I don't normally say this to people, but unforgiveness is a problem. Unforgiveness blocks the blessing. It does. And I would tell everyone, it's sometimes very hard because we get stabbed in the back, family, people we really trusted. So I'm digressing, but I would always say to people, just forgive everyone, even without emotion, and you'll find that something lifts and the blessings start coming. So there's a lot of reasons why we go through all these things. And it's not just random. And I would say this, that area of your life that you've experienced the most pain and struggle, the area of your life you've experienced the most pain and struggle, that is the area of your life that you will have the greatest victory. Some people say, I've had 5 years of misery in relationships. Well, the chances are there's a reason behind this. You will have the greatest happiness and joy out of this terrible situation.
So have you always done this? Has there ever been a time that you've stepped away from it and done other things, or has this been your entire...
I've never really stepped away from it. And, I think, every career goes through peaks and troughs. And I would actually say that I had quite a lot of success when I actually didn't think I was very good. So sometimes there's no even rhyme or reason for it. And I think I'm a way better astrologer now than I ever was. I do. And also I've developed some gifts, all sorts of different gifts. And I know on Ask the Answer, you're not meant to be talking about health stuff, but I've seen some miraculous healings. For example, there is an unbelievable foolproof way of winning every legal battle. And I don't know whether I should even mention this, because I tend not to do it with readings. But so I have, we want to, in whatever sphere of life we're in, we want to evolve. We want to get better at what we do. We want to grow as individuals. And I personally, I've grown enormously. So have I stepped away? It's always, I just want to grow as an individual.
So just experiencing life, and that in itself will help you in growth.
And I don't want to be, I'm not one of those astrologers who runs their life by astrology, because, and the thing is, I get astrologers say to me, Oh, I got Saturn in my own sign. And, you know, there's about 1,000 permutations. And don't concentrate just on, yeah, Saturn's very gloomy. Don't
Yeah.
concentrate on Saturn because there's, you know, 10 other outer planets. They're all doing stuff. So, you know, I got some computerized mind that, so I try and put the picture together, the whole picture, and rather than constant. So I don't run my life by astrology, but I'm more than aware that everything is about timing. And
Hmm.
you will find, for example, that the 3 weeks before your birthday and 6 months after, it's always a bit tiring. So your birthday, if I'm allowed to say this, I'm sure I am. You may get a
Yeah.
load. You may get some presents. So your birthday is June the 25th,
Mhm.
and I knew you were Cancerian, so that's a good. You know why I knew you were Cancerian, Adele?
Why?
There's a few reasons why I knew you were Aquarius, but Aquarius, Cancer, because I had a very good friend whose name was Adele. Now Adele is not a familiar name, and she happened to be a Cancer around your birthday, so that was like a dead giveaway for me anyway. But you'll always find, say, you know, the 3 weeks before your birthday is always that tiring. You haven't been born yet in some ways. Always a
Hmm.
bit tiring. So, you know, take it easy. Don't stress yourself out. And 6 months later, and so there's a time and season for everything. You'll probably find that let me think. That the end of July, early August, very good for you financially. So you know, there's 12 houses, and I don't want to really just go on about astrology because I am psychically gifted, I think, as well. There's a
Hmm.
time and season for everything, and that helps the readers because you told me that your husband is Scorpio. Well, this weekend the sun moves into Aquarius, which for him is home, family, property. For you, joint financial thing. You're spending money on doing up your home. You're thinking about,
Yep.
as well as all the other things that are going on. Um, does that answer the question? I don't think it does. Does
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, it's fascinating. It really is interesting. And I always find, especially with astrology, that even the people that might be a little bit skeptical can get their head around it a little bit more when you throw in that astrology side to readings.
It really, really works. But
Mm.
you know, I said I've developed other gifts, and I will say to people, I'm not a medium. I don't talk to dead people, and there's a
Hmm.
reason why I don't. That's just a personal thing. But you know, but I don't even going to say what. But you know, I have my own spirit, and I can tell you exactly what it is if you really want.
Hmm.
Which sounds a little bit weird, but it's the Holy Spirit. Now, the Holy Spirit, everyone's got their own spirit guides, and that I personally don't go anywhere near that. But the Holy Spirit is absolutely amazing. You can ask the Holy Spirit. Yeah, I'm useless with technology, computers, cars. Forget it. I'm a Libra. I can ask the Holy Spirit how to fix my computer. There's a small whisper in my tummy that tell me, you know, what I turn it off, put it on reset, whatever the thing is,
Yeah.
and that's quite a remarkable thing. So it's not just astrology.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
And where over the years has your psychic work taken you? Whereabouts in the world?
I've actually, you know, yeah, for some reason I haven't really. I've lived abroad for many, many years, and it's not just about me. When people say, oh, "I don't know where I should be," I got two rules for where you should be. One is go spiritually where you're meant to be,
Hmm.
and the other is go where the love is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your husband decided that he wants to do his business in Croatia, wouldn't you join him there?
Maybe not
Possibly
right
not.
now.
But and when I say spiritually meant to be, the remarkable thing is in our lives that even when I've been dumb and stupid, I, Adele, we have free will. You
Of
got the
course.
free will to end the podcast now. Go and make a cup. We have free will. It's
Yeah.
quite remarkable that I have discovered, not even discovered, I just know it as a fact, that our lives are orchestrated. They are.
Hmm.
And and this wonderful force realm in the heavens gets us to where we're meant to be. So I tend not to even worry I tend not to worry anymore. And of course, you know, a lot of people are fearful. These are fearful times. I've learned to try not to be fearful or worry. Not
Yeah.
because it's that old adage, old things will work out, but and they do. But somehow we're guided. There's a beautiful realm. I mean, there's a lot of evil in this world. I'm not going to deny that there is, but it's a beautiful, magical realm. And really, I like to put the super on the natural. Now, in the natural, the weather's crap, weather's awful. You know, price it. You know, sometimes hard for people to make a living. So I like to put the super on the natural, because there's this remarkable realm. And when people say, "Oh, I've lost the ability to dream and wish and that," and I always say to people, "No, dream and dream big," because I've seen the dreams happen. I said, the healing, miraculous healings, relationships had no chance whatsoever, suddenly restored. Money come. When people say, if I said to them, I think you're going to come into some money around January the 29th, 30th. And in fact, for you, there's something good happening for you, Adele, around the 29th, 30th. I'm trying to think what, but there is. And so when people say, "Oh, I don't know where this money's going to," but the universe or God, whatever, has 50 ways of bringing this money. They do. And sometimes, so it's not a question of living in cloud cuckoo land. It's a question of allowing your imagination to, and just to believe. I think the main thing is to believe,
Yeah.
believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
You obviously in your profile say the amount of work that you've done is incredible. We were talking there about all the different newspapers you've written for, the horoscope,
Yeah.
and been doing this for so many years. Celebrities. Let's dish the dirt if you can. What celebrities have you done readings for?
I've done a few, but I must say that, and the way my horoscope is constructed, I'm a bit reclusive. I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a recluse. Now, my Libra ascendant is all like chatty, as you can see, and outwardly the long hair and all. I love clothes, love normal stuff, normal guy, love love all the normal things. There's a part of me that's very, very intensely private and reclusive. So I was always working. People think, "Oh, how amazing doing this job." But I was always working very, very hard and locked up in a room and not locked up, but in a room, but working hours and hours on end trying to get these horoscopes right. And so I didn't actually socialize after. But I met, a few. And I think if you really want to meet celebrities, you can. So do I have any celebrity kind? A few, but not, there's nothing like Angelina Jolie and all that. But I'm sure, but a few.
But at the end of the day, they're all human. At the end of the day, I'm sure they've all got similar.
Exactly.
No matter who they
Exactly. If you look at the royal family, there's been you look at the royal family, and it's quite a mess. So celebrities go through the same type of things, and of course, it would be handy if I did a reading for Angelina Jolie, because and she said, "Wow, he's amazing." I'd end up in the stratosphere. Fantastic, but it doesn't always happen like that.
What's been your biggest highlight over the years?
Biggest highlights, personally or professionally?
Both.
There's been a number of them actually. I can't. I think it was really great. Having been at the Sun for 11 years, and then suddenly you get a call from someone like Piers Morgan, or there's a great editor called Kelvin MacKenzie, and out of the blue, Kelvin calls and says, "I want to hire you," and those are sort of great. And there's quite a few highlights like that, despite all the hard work. And of course, nothing was ever smooth. It's not that easy working in any business, whether it's the media or whatever. A lot of highlights like that. That was great, and people making offers. But I worked really hard for it, but then so I said, Adele, I had quite a bit of success. I think I didn't think I was that good, and now I think I'm actually not bad at this thing. And so we sometimes go through these seasons, which I call the wilderness, the desert experience, where you have all this success or great times personally. Then you go through a few years, 3, 5 years. Some people go through 7 years of like just drifting aimlessly. You're not successful anymore. There's no relationship. But the great thing about these wilderness and desert experiences is that the universe or God is in the midst. The universe knows exactly where you are, and you're kind of still being guided. And a lot of times, these seasons we go through, it's about character building. What's the point of giving you your dream man or dream woman if you're going to go back to the same patterns of behavior? So it's the universe kind of knows what it's doing and gets us ready, and the timing is impeccable. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So why should somebody come through and have a reading with you? What more do they get? I know we've mentioned there all the astrology side, but if somebody would say, well, why there's so many readers on Ask the Answer, but what specifically would they get with coming through?
On the one thing is I give actual dates, and not many people want to, even astrologers, that they don't stick their neck out. And you really actually want to know when these great things are happening. Secondly, I do think I have the psychic gift to pick up on who and what and where. And also, we just want to get to the root of whatever the problem. I think I approach every client who calls up differently. Whatever their need is, I don't want to keep repeating whatever their particular need is. And of course, I ask them their birthday from the straight off. But it's not just about the astrology. I just want to see what is troubling them, how we can fix it and what's coming up in the future. And I would always say to people, don't dwell on the past that much, because, a lot of people in walks of life, we say, oh, I've had 10 years of bad luck, or, this guy I met 20 years ago and stuff. And it's a very difficult thing to navigate, this relationships thing. A lot of people, and this is more on a serious note, stay in relationships maybe too long. I always think, give marriages a chance, and always try. So it's not really about marriage, I just talk about personal relationships. And I sometimes think, well, who is this guy that's so great? So I would say to people, never settle, don't settle, because the universe is going to bring you the person they've chosen, and it's going to be perfect. So I don't even know whether that answers your question.
It does, yeah.
It's been a long day, but what do I give them? Hopefully, at the end of the reading, they feel hopeful to get on with their life, have some idea when financially, relationally, personally, professionally, things are going to happen, and hopefully it's just going to help them. And whatever their particular problem is, if they want to tell me, there is an answer. There's always a solution.
And how often are you on Ask the Answer? If people do want to get hold of you? Whenever you can.
Point, actually, quite a lot. No, quite a lot. I log on for quite a lot.
And your PIN number is 500900 if they'd like to come through and have a reading with you.
I think it is. And is that interesting about the numbers? Mind you, there's nothing interesting about 500, is it 90, whatever. Number. So if you said to me numbers, you happen to be a 7. Did you know that, Adele? You're the 25th. Probably, and numbers is another. So do I do numerology? Yeah, a little bit. And you'll find that numbers follow you everywhere. So you're actually a 7, which is a really great number to have. But if you added up your mobile number, your date of birth, the house number, you will see a pattern emerging.
My gosh,
so right.
Literally,
of course.
It's 7, but my 2 houses were 16 in the past. And exactly. When everyone says what number, I do always go for 7. I always say that's my lucky number, 7. How funny.
Yeah. So do you see this magic realm I'm talking about? And it is magical. And there was and it can extend to so. And sometimes we don't pick up on all this thing, but you may find that you go on an airplane, it's number 25, or it just adds up to 7, and it's a good sign. And some people say, oh, a feather dropped down. But there was a time when I only lived in places with the initials BH, and it took me a while to suss this out years ago. But I happened to live at Bentley Heath, the Bishop's house, the Bank House. I think, and the Beaton House. Now, I did suss on after a while, but so the signs are out there, and the theory is signs and wonders follow those who believe. This is why I say believe, believe, believe. I mean, and the incredible thing about synchronicity, I've heard people say, oh, I haven't seen my ex for 4 years, but I bumped into him. Now, if it had been 5 seconds later, or, the amazing thing about the universe is the synchronicity, the way it's almost impossible. So you must have had an occasion when you bumped into someone, or at a particular time, but had you been walking, or had you decided to go the other way, but something prompted you to go down, Chesham High Street, and lo and behold, you bumped into, and it's almost incredible when you think about that,
It
And isn't
is
that amazing how the
absolutely.
universe has that incredible capacity to
Yeah.
do this?
There was a lady the other day. I've never met this lady in my life, and then I bumped into her
Yeah,
at the gym, and then I bumped into her at
yeah,
the other place that I worked, and I went, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you!" And in the
yeah,
space of 2 weeks, I've seen you. I went, "What is that all about? What is the message
yeah.
there?"
Now, well, that's the thing. What is the message there? Um, and there always is a
Mm,
message. You know, you may, and if you bump into her again, she may actually
mm,
reveal, you know, that it's just some sort of from heaven, you know, or your spirit guides, whatever you believe in. It's just sending you a message there, and it will be revealed, but it is
yeah,
quite peculiar, isn't it? And the timing
yeah,
of it, because yeah, it's quite incredible. So when I say to dispense hope, it's not just I want to give people false hope. There is this incredible realm in a very difficult world. You know, there's a lot of problems
that
around
awareness,
the world.
like just
You know,
highlighting things like you've just done there, the power of numbers that people might not even be aware of, and then you
yeah,
say like that
numbers. And I
makes.
said, I said I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm like but so it took me a while to suss on this BH thing, but once I realised it, it kind of helps. That so we're not just drifting aimlessly, and it does take sometimes years or months for things to happen. But what is meant
And
will
if someone's
happen.
having bad luck with their houses and they keep going with that same number, maybe they need to go for a different house number.
Well, that brings me to another thing. It's about you're spiritually meant to be where you're meant to be, and I mean, for example, I've been to France, a few times, but for some reason, France doesn't really
Hmm.
agree with me. So you could say that for certain signs and for certain people, like areas, houses, countries, you don't get a great feeling, great vibe about it, but other places you really, really do. And I think the answer is, wherever you are, if you feel a sense of unease or agitated about a person, a place, a situation, then there's obviously a reason why. But if you feel a sense of peace, if you feel a sense of peace talking to me on
Hmm.
the phone, it's because there's something good happening here, and that applies to
Yeah,
travel, business, work. If you're in a toxic relationship at work all the time or whatever it is, perhaps you shouldn't
yeah,
be there. And hopefully you're going to get into a really great place where it's fantastic,
absolutely.
and the people are wonderful.
Absolutely. So, what's next for you? You do all this amazing work, but is it going to stay much the same, or is there
Uh,
more growth?
uh, well, I have Jupiter moving into Cancer, first time in
Hmm.
12 years. And in theory, for the Librans, who may have been in the doldrums career wise or whatever, or personally, it should be, some career break and whatever. What's next for me generally? I just want to, yeah, I just want to be a decent person and grow and evolve spiritually. And I believe in blessing people. I believe in being
Hmm.
kind, not because I'm such a great human being. I believe in being kind, and there is people talk about karma. Well, I'm not so sure about
Hmm.
karma. There is a thing that if you do bad, get bad. If you do good, get good. I just I just think being kind is very, very important, and it does come
Mm.
back. I mean, it does. It goes round a
Yeah.
lot. So and we're also not really fighting. When everybody gets stabbed in the back, and people say horrible things and that. Well, we're not really fighting flesh and blood. There is this wickedness in the heavens. There is this evil realm in the world. So I'm not going to, all these dreadful things, but there's this beautiful, lovely, light, fantastic realm that's angelic and amazing and full of love. What am I trying to say? I don't
Around
actually. I lost
yourself
my
with
thread
positive
there. Sorry.
and
But
kindness.
yeah, it's very important to be
Mm.
kind, I think, to each other. And I think, apparently they say at the end of our lives, the one question, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I've heard it many times before that people say, oh, I wish I'd been kinder to my fellow man. So I do believe it's important to be kind. I do. And it does. I think there is such a thing as, I think it's good to be
Yeah.
a giver. Now, a giver could just be, well, I don't mean necessarily financially, but just
Yeah,
lifting
definitely.
people up. So what I like doing is I said, lifting people up is very important. It's very, very important that we do. And I think there is some
Mhm.
reward for it. Now, I personally don't do this sort of stuff to get anything back. You either, so we have to work on ourselves and just in a very cruel and unfair world, just be positive, be kind, and be an encourager, and you'll see that it comes back. It does. It does. You know, you could be feeling bad, but you've been really nice to a friend of that, and something really good happens to you. And you may not tie in the two, but trust me, they're you know, we can get rewarded
No, I
as well
definitely
in
agree with
various
that.
ways.
Sharing the kindness and the love, even the simplest things in life, where somebody might let you out when you're driving your car, they let you go, and then that knock-on effect, and you then do that to somebody else, and it has that domino effect where someone's been kind to you, you then be kind to somebody else, and it just has a nice flow.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes we don't even recognize it, but there is what they call seed. You know, you're sowing a seed or something, and the universe will bless that seed. And you know, just a few kind words, very, very important.
Well, Justin, it's been a pleasure speaking to you today, and I'm sure there's lots of people listening. They're going to be dying to speak to you on the phone lines to see what you can pick up for them. Your PIN number is 500900. It's been lovely finding out all about you.
And yeah, Adele, it's been a pleasure. I wanted to cut this thing short after 3 minutes, but you know, we got so. So Adele,
thank you very much.
And
Enjoy
I
your
really
holiday.
wish you a fantastic
we look forward
year.
to seeing you in the future with all the amazing work you're doing.
I hope so.
Good luck. Take
care.
You. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Answers podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and save to your library. Remember, there are 100 psychic readers available on our website for readings 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To triple your credits on your first purchase, visit asktheanswer.com and click on the new customer offer banner.